Meet our free U.S. tax preparation course brought to you by the Borderless Accountant. We are inviting you to join our community. Live training, reputable tax firms as resource speakers, recorded, replayable at higit sa lahat, libre. To join, like and follow our official Facebook page, join our Facebook group for important updates, and fill out our Google form to be included in our mailing list. See you there!
Alrighty. Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
How is
Coach.
Sunday evening?
Morning, Coach.
I just got up exactly at 8. Commitment, 'di ba? So, kasi nakatulog ata ako 3 in the morning na mahigit because nag-ano ako kagabi, nag-nightlife sa Montreal. Nanood ako ng nanood ako ng show na naka it was in French. So para akong tanga, but masaya naman. Wala akong naintindihan, but na-entertain naman ako. So, it was good. Um, so yeah, I think people are still joining. Maulan pa rin sa Pinas. Sabi
Yes, Coach.
maulan. Dito din maulan. Although not not the entire day. Um, which is good. So yeah, I have just started my Sunday. Ang Sunday niyo patapos na, ano? Yung weekend niyo patapos na. Um, there. So today we are going to hear from three people who will, briefly introduce themselves. Para, we get to know each other. And then the fourth one will show us the kung saan i-input yung carry over sa ProConnect. If may magvo-volunteer, hopefully meron. And then the fifth one will volunteer in entering Schedule C sa ProConnect. Okay, and I think I saw one question earlier sa GC about critical diagnostics, so we can also address that. There, so without wasting your time, kasi nga Sunday night ngayon, a lot of you probably are preparing for the work week on Monday. So, para maaga tayo matapos, let's get started. Who would want to start with the intro? Pa-raise na lang ng hand. And like what I said, hindi tayo nagja-judge dito. So, feel free to speak in any language you're comfortable with. And feel free to share whatever you want to share. Okay. And we in the spirit of volunteerism, I don't want to call names. I really hate calling names. Diba? Kasi calling names is like putting someone on the spot. And I don't like that myself. So I would appreciate if someone would volunteer. Diba? All right, guys, come on. Let's not waste time. I'm not seeing any hand being raised, so I'm not calling any names. Walang gusto mag-introduce. Yung iba dito parang ano lang eh, parang nakikimarites lang or nakikinood lang. Don't be like that. It's not gonna work.
Hi everyone, good evening. Hi sir, good evening po.
Hi, good evening. I'm not seeing you though. Uh,
Um, I am Sarah Elaine Daluno and I saw your post in Facebook regarding free US tax preparation course, which
mhm.
is taught by to learn more about US tax preparation. So I joined in this today's um live video.
Thank you, Farah. Where are you joining
Yes,
us
sir.
from? Which place in the Philippines? Which country?
Philippines, sir, in Pasig, Manila.
Oh, Pasig, Manila. So you found us on
Yes,
Facebook,
sir.
or you were referred?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you found us by yourself, or you saw us from your friend, or how did you come across Border?
Um, Actually, I found your post in one of the Facebook advertisements. So I clicked on the G form to also join in the group. This is my first time attending the live session, sir.
Oh, welcome. So I hope,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
they come overwhelmed. And if you feel like, this is something for you, feel free to check out the prior recordings. Kasi I think
Yes, sir.
na tayo ngayon. 820 na pala tayo, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're on our
May I
20th
ask,
session. Yes, po, go ahead.
do you also provide a course in the certificate in this course?
Yeah, I think you're the second or third person who asked if I'd provide a certificate. I would say for now,
Yeah.
no. I'm not a fan of certificate.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan of certificate because I don't know. I'm not even a fan of a degree, right? Because like if I'm
Mm-hmm.
personal view ko lang naman to. If I
Yes, sir.
hire someone who's doing for a tax preparation course, I would not require that person to have a degree, right? Kasi nga borderless, di ba? I
Yes,
wouldn't care what degree you are for as long as alam mo yung work. That's my
yes, sir.
personal requirement, and I believe that you don't need a certification for that. And also based on experience, kasi over the years, whenever I get hired or whenever someone wants to hire me for a tax preparation role, I've never asked a certificate
Mm-hmm.
at all. Okay? Merong isa nag-ask ng
Yes,
enrolled agent na certificate ko, but he was also Pinoy. um,
yes.
which I did not end up working with kasi nga,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, this is just me, but based on experience, pag mga Pinoy, binabarat yung kapwa Pinoy. And that's what I felt with him. And basta I didn't feel like working for him. But siya lang out of the many, like more than 20 people that I've met online who was looking for a tax preparer, siya lang yung nag-ask ng certificate, right? But all the
Yes.
rest, hindi. So, ang haba ng naging explanation
Okay.
ko, Farah, but my short answer to that, if I provide the certificate, the answer is no. At least for now, it could change.
Mhm.
Because I'm not a believer. Okay? I'm
Yes,
not a
sir.
believer.
Thank you.
I'm a believer of competence rather than what you can show me
Mm-hmm.
on papers, right? So, yan.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you, po.
Thank you, Farah. I'm glad to know that you're from Pasig and yeah, you come across through an ad. I don't know if we're running an ad. I'm not sure because I'll check with Zara, but
Maybe
we're not paying
it's
anything.
related to the Facebook sites that I've been searching for, and one of it just popped out in my notification sorry, news feed, sir.
I see. Maybe because like again, this is the purpose
Yes.
why I would want you to share, right? Because it reaches to like it's a meta algorithm, right? Like the more you get shared, the more that you show on other people's feeds with the same interest or at least with the same
Yes.
history searches. So I think that's what happened. So yeah, I'm glad that you come
Yes.
across, and I hope you find US tax preparation interesting and something that you can also commit yourself into. It's free, so no strings attached. Again, if you want to go back to the prior recordings that we've already had, um, there are other recordings are available in the Facebook community. Feel free to do that because it's gonna be kind of difficult to catch up on the succeeding materials if you don't have those recording, walang context. But it doesn't prevent you from joining whenever you want, okay? So
Yes.
if, again, you find it interesting, feel free to check the community page. All right. Thank you, Farah. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Anyone who want to go next? Let's keep it light. All right, great. Cherry Alvis. And then next to Chana.
Hi everyone.
Hello po.
I'm Cherry. Nice to meet you all po, guys. I'm Cherry Alvis po. I am a customer success manager. I work from home. I used to be for 12 years, I used to be an assistant branch manager in a bank.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, I'm an accounting graduate. Then come pandemic, nag-resign and try to, work remotely. Yeah, I started with my mom. Actually, my mom is my classmate and also my husband is my classmate here. Tatlo kami. Yes, my mom, siya talaga yung active, like, because we study bookkeeping. So, siya, she's successful. She has clients in bookkeeping. Ako, I didn't finish. I just know zero. I don't finish the QuickBooks because suddenly I was promoted in my job. So it's giving me the I'm already earning 6 digits, but then I feel like anytime, American companies, uh they can, mahilig sila mag-fire or basta meron silang ganun eh. So, I have a feeling na dapat hindi lang ako mag-stay dito. I should continue with with this. Kaso, sabi ko, parang hindi para sa akin yung bookkeeping. Kasi yung individual, okay pa eh. Pagdating doon sa e-commerce, litong-lito na ako. So, yung mom ko, active siya sa mga Facebook page. Then, recommend niya to. Sabi niya, Cherry, check mo tong EA. Kasi actually, last 2023, nag-enroll kami ng isang EA course din. Hindi namin nagustuhan yung turo. Parang nagsiself-study lang din kami and we're wasting money. Mga ilang ano lang kami noon, ilang sessions lang. And then yun, na-promote nga ako. So, nag-focus na lang ako sa work ko. Then, eto nga, come this year, free lang to. Tapos mukhang okay, ganun, try natin. So, ayun, parang gusto ko, meron din akong, kung sakaling hindi ako maging successful man, kasi feeling ko hindi talaga forever yung job ko. Mas nakikita ko dito na stable tong papasukin ko na to. And I have an accounting background too. And hindi man ako nag-push mag-accountancy, at least I know the terms and dahil last 2023 nakapag-start na rin kami mag-review ng EA. So I have a little knowledge na rin po. Pero individual pa lang. Hindi pa ako nakarating ng business and ano. That's it po.
Thank you, Cherry.
Silent listener kami tatlo, husband ko and mom ko.
Yeah, I'm glad to know that tatlo kayo, and I'm glad to know you. Yeah, and I agree, no? If you're looking for stability and security, this is the way to go. And I also completely agree with her, yung all of a sudden baka mawala yung client, 'di ba? May nangyayaring ganun. And especially kung naka-focus ka na doon and wala kang fallback all of a sudden, 'di ba? So, especially nga kaya I wanted to reach out to yung mga virtual assistants. Kaya I keep pushing it to share kasi nga maraming mga like ngayon may work na sila, but like what Cherry said, mga Americans has tendency to redundate people, right? Kasi like
Nag-recession po
for
sila eh.
people like recession or out of their control, the business went down, or binili sila. For example, like inacquire sila ng mas malaking company. And kung yun that's the only source of income you have, it would be difficult for you to like start over and earn some similar amount of money, diba? So yun. Yeah, I'm glad that you come across this material because really based on 5 years pa lang din naman ako dito. 5 years may get, running 6. But the financial stability that it has brought me, it's so immense, right? And yung career path, even if you're not a CPA or anything like that, if you want to pursue the EA degree, you can practice your own, right? You don't even have to get employed, right? So you can practice your own. Again, you can own an LLC here in the US and you can have your own firm. You can have your own set of clients. That's the ultimate. And if you get employed, bihirang-bihira akong may nakikilalang tiniterminate na tax preparer. Because especially if you're already assigned multiple clients, the firm owner would want you to handle that client year after year kasi may continuity. And then you also already built the relationship with the client, the documents the client. So if I'm a firm owner, um I would not want to hire a new one every year. Yun. So that's the security. Another thing is I talked to Randy. He's the one also, he's running a course. Kasi tatlo kami nagra-run ng course. Si Joe, ako, and then si Randy. I don't know him personally, but I saw his Facebook post. And hindi lang ako nag-enroll because I think medyo pricey siya. But he's doing a good job with teaching, and I saw one of his video. He said he got motivated to teach US course nga kasi hindi niya na feel yung competition at all. What he feels is that there's so much need for tax preparers, and in fact, siya na nga tong hinahabol ng mga clients, 'di ba? Hindi siya yung naghahabol ng client, siya yung hinahabol. Like the clients come after him, right? In Upwork or whatever platform he's into. And that also happens to me. Hindi ako nag-apply at all sa Upwork na sila yung lumalapit sa akin. Either a firm or a client na or a taxpayer na diretso nagpe-prepare na nagpapa-prepare ng return. So, yun, stability-wise, if you are still thinking of a career that you could be for a lifetime, na could earn you more than maybe 6 digits, could be more, could be really, sky's the limit, right? Because now, akala ko dati, when you're in EA, ang ultimate na career mo is becoming a tax resolutionist, right? But when I met Kendall and Sam in person, that's when I understood pwede pala din mag-tax strategy, no? And then when I met this guy 3 days ago, he's also into tax strategy. Na-open yung mind ko na, ay, akala ko pagiging tax resolutionist lang or ang tawag doon tax representation kasi, not tax resolution, tax representation before the IRS. Akala ko yun na yung pinaka-goal. Hindi pa pala, ang dami pa. So, yun lang, for emphasis, if you want to invest your time in this and you see a future in this, I can only say you're in the right track. Okay? And then sa mga gusto mag-aral ng EA, I know I've said this before, meron tayong material na free doon sa www.borderlessaccountant.com. Mag-enroll lang kayo doon. Libre na yun. Mayroon pang PDF. Kasi mahal din yung GLIME. If you can't afford 30,000, then the course that I built is free. It's almost the same as what GLIME has. And then the materials that we're also covering here sa course is also from GLIME. Like maybe tomorrow or maybe today, if we have the time, we'll start with watching the material on business deduction. That's the fourth module or fourth lesson dun sa individual portion ng GLIME material. Kasi we're down 3, right? So we're gonna cover the fourth one, which relates to business deductions, and that relates to Schedule C. All right, ang haba na sinabi ko. But I'm glad that you're here, Cherry, your husband, and your mom. And
Thank you po.
yeah, see, that's the value of getting to know you guys. And that's also really, reassuring on my part that somehow we're making, a little, already we're on the way of making a difference in people's lives. Yeah. So yun yung parang pinaka-reward ko. Great. Thanks, Cherry. Let's move on to
Sir.
Shauna.
Hello guys, good evening or good morning there, Sir Chris.
Good
Okay,
morning.
I'm Shona. I'm a bookkeeper po there. So, I just started applying as a bookkeeper this June. Then, I was so happy because my first DC, I get to apply what I learned in this course, sir. I
Really?
remember when you asked, anong ganap nyo dyan? Parang tinype ko sa chat box, sir. Nagka-DC po and it's all about tax. Parang ganun po yung sagot ko. So I was so happy po na through the learnings from you, Sir Chris, na sinishare nyo in this course, parang mas naging confident ako to talk with the client. Ayun. Tapos parang feeling ko nga nun, parang tax strategist na ako, ganun.
Wow.
Basta it boosts my confidence po. Tapos actually, sir, that the reason I'm here is because I just want to give value to my future bookkeeping clients or not because to become a tax preparer. Pero before that, I saw some TikTok videos about tax preparation. Sabi nga nila parang data entry lang siya. So madali daw. Pero sabi ko, I want to be a tax preparer, pero it will not end there. So yun yung gusto kong i-goal ngayon. Thank you for sharing all your lessons, sir, kasi parang mas na-widen pa yung opportunity na meron kami. Ganon. Tapos, and I wanna also take this opportunity, sir, to thank you because it's free and it's very comprehensive and it's very hands-on. So, from the theories, pati yung muscle memories, kung saang box namin ilalagay, ganyan-ganyan, it's really so helpful, sir. So, I don't know what to say anymore, sir. I'm not really into talking too much about my personal life. But that's all, sir.
Thank you, Shauna. I'm glad to hear that you're learning and yeah, the goal is you be able to provide more value to your client. And I'm very happy that one way or another we're able to help you boost your confidence. And also, I want to know where are you joining us from?
Here in Alabang, sir.
So we're all over na tayo. May Pasig, may Alabang.
Ayala gilid lang, sir, ha?
Saan nga yung isa? Ang naalala ko, ay, tignan mo, may short-term memory ako sa name. Say, we had,
Sir, Cavite po kami ng mother ko. From almost
Cavite.
Tagaytay. Amadeo, Cavite po.
Amadeo, Cavite. So, Cavite, Pasig, and then Alabang. All right. Great to know that you guys are here. Yeah, Jerry, nag-enroll sa, yeah, Bedrock. Bedrock is also good. I think, ano lang, I just feel that medyo commercial lang yung dating niya, no? This is my opinion. You can, and I've been open about this with Joe naman. I just feel that it was very commercial and the path was
Mas okay po pag
saying things out loud. I'm feeling that ginawa niyang business yung pagtuturo. So he's like earning from you guys, the course taker, and then he's also earning through you. Kasi like may apprentice na libre. And I just don't personally like that. Because like if you want to help the Filipinos, and mayaman ka na eh. Meron ka ng, you've been a tax practitioner for quite a while. Why did you have to do that? Like, it's just, I don't know. If you've been successful in your career, why would you profit from other people? Right? Na gusto mag-start. So, yun lang. That's just probably not aligned with my principle. So, kanya-kanya naman tayo.
And sir, to add lang din po kasi we used to be at Bedrock. We just attended 3 to 4 sessions and then yun na nga po because we feel like we're just self-studying kasi una-una walang EA doon. And then pangalawa, puro volunteers lang din po na nag-i-study lang din po ng EA. So masasabi ko mas maganda po talaga yung may EA na nagtuturo po talaga, may experience.
Totoo.
And so super glad po na nandito kami ni ma'am ko po na hindi po nasasayang yung hard-earned money namin.
Yeah, thank you. Kasi nga, kahit hindi man kayo nagbayad sa course na to, but the fact that you're here, like 1 to 2 hours a day, that's already a lot. It's an investment in itself. Yeah, the effort as well that you put into it, that's already an investment in itself. So yeah, and if you notice, I really am like, I don't want to waste time. Minsan nga, nagigilty ako pag nag-overshare ako because I feel like instead of teaching, I'm sharing about things that may not matter to every one of you, to all of you. So yun, kasi like I always put dapat value, 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 value. Ganyan yung mindset ko. So yeah, yeah. So I know you're grateful. I'm grateful for your attendance as well. Seeing number of people that are interested and starting to learn already is fulfillment for me. Yun lang, I would not tire in asking you to keep sharing this opportunity to others para lang mas marami tayong ma-reach. And kasi I'm open to collaboration. Like, alam niyo yung the more that you teach, the more that you learn. Hindi ko naman sinasabing master na ako or whatnot. I still have a lot to learn. Right? Even in ProConnect. With this, medyo natututo ako sa ProConnect kasi hindi man ako gumagamit masyado ng ProConnect. So, I don't want this to be like, ako yung nagti-teach, ako yung nagme-mentor. I don't even like, I'm not too comfortable with you guys calling me coach because I really am not into a coaching business. But siguro nasanay na kayo kasi sa mga ibang environment where you're taking course, you call them, ano. But I want you guys to be so comfortable with me na don't look at, kasi pag ganito yun if you look someone na medyo on a higher level, na may level of intimidation. So I don't want you guys to be like, ma-intimidate kayo sa akin kasi nawawala yung comfort to ask questions, right? So I would want you to look at me. Maybe medyo may alam ako kesa sa inyo because nauna ako. You know what I mean? Nauna ako. But I'm sure that few of you, if not all of you here, ay mas magaling pa sa akin. Diba? Ako, nauna lang ako. Nauna lang ako. So, and what I also want to share is yung mga experiences ko na that you may also come across as you go along. But, the way you would take it in the future when you come across that same scenario, makatulong yung naging experience ko, how I handled it. But a lot of it also is depending on how you deal with it. Depende sa skills nyo and sa values nyo na din. So yun, I'm grateful as you are. And ang point ko lang with all that I said is, just keep on sharing this so we get to reach more people. Diba? So last time may India, tapos may Qatar, tapos meron tayong Saudi Arabia last time. Going international na tayo. Diba? Baka sa sunod sa ano naman, sa ang bansa. Pakistan. Kasi marami din tax preparer sa Pakistan. That's India, Pakistan, Philippines. Yun yung pinakamarami. And meron din China. When I took my EA exam sa Korea, mga kasabayan ko Chinese. Kasi marami ding Chinese sa US kasi. Tapos niche yan eh. Kung Chinese ka, yung mga customers mo din, malamang Chinese. Di ba? Mga Chinese people, Chinese businessmen. So, ayun, wala pa akong, meron pala si yung na-meet ko sa LA. Si Cristel, Filipino siya na firm owner, pero bago lang siya. Tapos sinabi ko nga din sa kanya na we're running this community para in case in the future you wanna file returns directly doon sa para sa client niyo, you can reach out to her And then you can do some sort of a partnership kasi may EFIN na siya. Established na yung firm niya, may insurance na and everything. And she's Pinoy, no? She was born and raised in the Philippines, tapos nag-immigrate lang siya dito kasi pediatrician ng mother. And then she started a bookkeeping and now she's doing taxes, but she's also fully employed. So, ang dilemma niya is she cannot grow her firm kasi nga fully employed siya and she don't want to give up her full-time employment kasi she's not yet ready to take on tax clients kasi nga hindi naman siya wala siyang time mag-aral ng tax basically. So yun. And I know I haven't reached out to her. Yun, naalala ko lang siya ngayon. 2 weeks na since we met. Hindi mo lang ako nag-message pala sa kanya na, hey, ito yung page namin, Borderless Accountant. Which reminds me, dapat mag-reach out ako sa kanya mamaya. Para, sabi niya kasi mag-join din siya dito eh. She's from Manila. Okay. I don't know why you're apologizing, Glenn, for disturbing the meeting. I didn't feel like you were disturbing us. Nagkikwento na pala kay about Joe. But again, we're grateful for Joe because he started it. Like, he had the idea of nakita niya din yung opportunity. And then I also attended his course kasi I was already thinking of offering one myself. I just didn't know how. So I had that idea of doing the same thing as he did. And then it evolved from there. But yeah. And I'm sure you learned a few, maybe not a lot, but a few from him. So you could also use that towards, I mean, the things that you learn from him, I'm sure ay magiging useful din sa inyo. All right. Just like that, 45 minutes after 8 na. So next presenter natin, sino magvo-volunteer, who was able to play around ProConnect to see saan i-input yung carryover. So for example, di ba 2024 yung ginawa natin. What if in 2023 may capital loss si taxpayer? How would you input that into 2024? Sino magvo-volunteer? Was anyone able to check that out? Meron ba napag-check? Like, play around a number. Let's say last year, 2023, merong carry loss, carry over loss si taxpayer. Walang nag-search. Sige, search natin. Open na ako ng ProConnect. I think Janelle is here, right? Janelle, if you wanna open again the ProConnect na profile natin, I think my Philippine SIM is fixed already. It can get the OTP na. So that you can build yung shinare mong video, you can build that into the supported Borderless Accountant na ProConnect account. Kasi right now, I don't have all the it was entered yesterday. Because I have not been entering anything since we we started the actual demonstration. So walang laman yung aking ProConnect. But let's ask Perplexity. Let's share my screen. You guys see my screen, right? So I have ProConnect, and then let's open our best friend here. How or where to enter capital loss carryover in ProConnect. Where to enter loss carryover from prior years. Okay. So to enter the capital loss carryovers from prior years in ProConnect, follow these steps. Navigate to the client's tax return and go to the income section. Okay. So say let's use this. And income section is this. And then go to dispositions, which corresponds to Schedule D. All right, dispositions. And then enter the capital loss carryover. Carryovers miscellaneous. Look for carryovers miscellaneous. Dito tayo sa Schedule D, diba? Saan daw yung... Maybe here? Carry. Or here, carryovers miscellaneous info. There. So carry over, let's say 6,000 short term. Tapos long term, 3,000. Ganun. Tapos, usually the same lang naman yung amount ng AMT at saka regular. So let's do the same thing. Or before we do this, para lang mas mag-sink in sa inyo. So let's not do that yet because now we know. Let's go to our form, 1040. I'm not sure kung may in-input na akong income dito. Pakita ko lang sa iyo yung impact ng carryover. So right now, I have 10,900. My social akong 42,603 of which is taxable. So you see here, box 7, empty, right? Empty siya. Because wala naman akong nilagay na capital gain or loss na transaction sa sample na return na to. So now that we have it, let's say we put 6,000 and then 3,000. Wala akong Schedule D transaction ha. Carry over lang to from prior year. Sorry. And now let's review our return. Ta-da! So I have 3,000 carryover loss, which is a deduction to my income. Kasi may mga instances na ganyan. Last year or prior years, nag-accumulate yung mga carryover capital losses ni taxpayer. Right? Pero like in the current year, walang transaction na naganap kasi siguro close na yung brokerage statement niya or wala at all siyang binentang stocks. Right? So walang gain, walang loss. Pero meron siyang carry over from prior year. Right? So yung 3,000 na yan is a deduction sa kanyang income. Tingnan yung income niya from what it was earlier, naging 9,106. So ano yung implication yan? Kung hindi nyo tiningnan yung prior year return niya, hindi nyo malalaman na meron siyang carryover loss. Right? And he missed out that 3,000 deduction. Clear so far? Right? So now you know. Kayo hindi kayo nag-aaral. Walang nag-volunteer. Madali lang naman. Hindi ko nga alam kasi I don't use ProConnect. Kahit man sa ibang software, hindi ko din, I can't recall on top of my head paano siya i-enter. Kasi nga, most of the clients, recurring yung client. Pero sa inyo, since baguhan kayo, if you start offering tax preparation sa mga client like through Upwork, syempre wala kayong prior year return, di ba? Wala kayong date, wala kayo nun sa software nyo na whatever it is that you're gonna use. So this would likely apply to you, right? Tingnan nyo yung prior year return. So if you're ready to prepare return for 2025, starting January 2026, hanapin nyo yung 2024 return, right? Tingnan nyo doon kung may carryover lossy taxpayer. So, sa 3,000, total no 9,000, di ba? Kasi 6,000 short term, 3,000 long term. Yan. So sa Schedule D natin, wala tayong transaction here. Pero meron tayong short-term capital loss carryover na 6,000. And namin tayong long-term loss carryover na 3,000 na in-input natin earlier. So combined, 9,000. And then we use the 3,000 this year. Ewan ko dito sa sa ProConnect, hindi, parang putol yung Schedule D. Dapat merong form na it would show you magkano pa yung remaining na carryover. Yeah, it's a worksheet. Ito. So, ito siya worksheet. Capital loss carryover worksheet. So, 6,000 short term, long term 3,000. Long term capital loss carryover to 2025 is 3,000. Short term capital loss carryover to 2025, subtract line 7 from line 5. And there the loss from Schedule D. So 6. Dapat 3 na lang to, di ba? Dapat 3 na lang to nasa line 8. Short-term capital loss carry over to 2025. 3,000 na lang. Kasi 'di ba, we entered 6,000 and 3,000, total 9,000. Tapos ginamit yung 3,000 this year. So dapat 3,000 na lang to. Kasi yung may order of priority eh. Kung both long-term at short-term yung loss na carry over, yung gagamitin muna is yung short-term. Tapos pag na-exhaust na yung short-term, saka muna yung long-term. But I don't know why ProConnect in this worksheet is showing 6,000. Should be 3,000. Para total 6,000 na lang kasi ginamit na yung 3,000 eh. There must be a good reason for that. But it will take time for us to investigate. But yan lang yung premise. This is where you look at it. Go to income section, disposition, and then yun, carryovers. Ayun pala, dapat dito. Section 1231 tayo. Basta dyan. Okay? And then you also know the impact of that dun sa current na return. Okay, so we're good. And that's my question. Yeah, in this example, kasi 2024 yung return natin, the next year would be 2025. So yeah, yung remaining na 6,000 that will be carried over to the 2020 after the succeeding year until ma-exhaust. Okay, until ma-exhaust. All right, there. So I guess we're good in that. It's no longer a hanging question. Thank you to me for sharing. Charet. So who's gonna volunteer for Schedule C? Dito mag-volunteer kayo kasi I did not work on the example at all. And gusto ko mag-breakfast while someone is doing. Okay, Irislyn, perfect. Good job. Yes, Irislyn, if you want to introduce yourself to us first and then proceed with the data entry or however way you want to proceed. Okay, the floor is yours, po.
Good evening po, Coach. Good evening, everyone. Actually, I already introduced myself before, Coach, when you asked about who's doing the night shift or graveyard. But I told before that I'm just doing bookkeeping part-time. So it's 8 a weekdays 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then in the evening, I just do 1 hour. So sometime 9 to 10. So we have class when I'm doing, but just because it's QuickBooks, I can just use two monitors. So the other one is for this class, the other one is the QuickBooks. That's why this course is, I mean, hindi naman po nakakaano sa ano ko, sa work ko. So,
Nagmo-multitask pala kayo pag may klase tayo.
kapag ano lang po coach, kapag 9 to 10 ako nagwo-work. So, yung 8 to 9, so ano po yun? Parang free time ko na matuto.
Yeah, I think I agree. You were already familiar. Hindi ko lang ma-recall kung ano, but so Iris, where are you joining us from?
I'm from Laguna. So,
Oh,
anybody from Laguna?
nice.
Santa Rosa actually, Santa Rosa,
Elma is
Laguna.
Laguna daw. She's saying hi. Um,
Hi.
Santa Rosa, Laguna kayo. Okay. Tapos what do you do?
Yes.
What do you do aside from part-time bookkeeping? May full-time job kayo?
I don't have a full-time job. Actually, before I'm in a corporate world also, way back 2019. But I stopped because of some family matters because I really need to attend to my kids. So they're like now, my youngest is 10 years old. So I have to hatid sundo ba?
Mm,
So yun po, coach. So maybe when he gets older, I can work full time. But for now, part time lang.
mm,
So I just got my client po last December 2024.
mm,
He's based in Georgia and from Online Jobs PH. So I'm also for those who do not know or didn't remember yung introduction ko before, I'm a CPA here in the Philippines po. So hindi naman ako nag-practice ng pagiging CPA. When I stopped working last 2019, I just accepted two clients local. So I'm handling their books and doing yung tax preparation. So yun po. Then I decided to do this online bookkeeping because syempre we have the freedom and yun po. So I enrolled in various courses in preparation. I took QuickBooks, Pro Advisor, Zero. I enrolled in TBSA. If some here are familiar with TBSA, so I'm enrolled in TBSA. Actually, I finished maybe just 46% of the course, and I did not finish the whole course because I already got a client last December. I enrolled in sometime in September. So I still
mm.
have access to the courses, but now I'm focused more on this US taxation because just like what Ms. Chona said earlier, I want to add value to my client because my client is asking for some help with regards to his 2016 tax return. He has an IRS audit. Then actually with some of the systems like this ProConnect, there's no, you can input 2016 transactions. The earliest was 2017, I think. So I downloaded actually some Excel file just to know what's his tax liability for 2016. So I really appreciate that we have this course kasi bilang somebody that really don't know the US taxation, tax software. So it's really helpful. I mean, per line item na kung paano mo ilalagay, ano. So yun. So I'm also learning pa po and yun lang, I don't want to eat so much of your time po. Sorry, coach. Ayun
Yeah, but
po,
it
so I
was
want
good.
to start, opo,
Thank
I
you
want
for
to start, opo, yes, yun lang. So, I want to share screen na po.
right.
Nakikita na po.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So I'm just new with the ProConnect, so please bear with me then. I'm not that familiar. This is Michael Carter 1040. So if we're gonna wait, I just said so we need to input his business income. So from here, I already input some of the details for just for the business details. So principal business or profession. Is it right, coach? Business, not profession. So business, right? Since
Yes.
it's Schedule C. Yes. So business name, borderless accountants. Then next is the EIN. This EIN number was sent earlier in the GC. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then actually I've read some question because some don't know if we'll click the taxpayer, the spouse or joint. So for now, I think I'll just click the taxpayer. I don't know if it has bearing in the total 1040. Then, yeah, no other information for the business. So next, since uh, the given financial statement is a P&L or profit and loss, so we need to input the P&L for January for year ending December 31, 2024. So this one. So the gross receipts or sales is 75 grand. Then since this is a professional professional business, I mean business income from profession, it doesn't have a cost of goods sold. So the next line is expenses. For expenses, if the business has income or from cost of goods sold, so you have to input this one amount here, beginning inventory, purchases. Yeah. Then you should arrive at the cost of goods sold after inputting all the information here. So since it's not a okay, so we'll move to expenses. The business expense first is advertising. So we'll input 1,500 here, 1,500. Then next is office expense. I think office expense is below pa po. So we'll just move to those expenses na we can already see na nandito since I think it's alphabetically arranged. So do you contract labor, no contract labor, delivery, no delivery also, dues and subscriptions, no dues and subscription, then insurance. So insurance, it's 800. Where's the insurance? Here, 800. Then next is office expense, legal and professional. So it has 500 legal and professional. Then next is office expense. It has 2,000 office expense. Next is rent. So for rent, since it's a office space rent, so I'll just put it under the other. The first one is for vehicle, machinery, and equipment. So since it's an office list, space list, so I put it under the other. Next is supplies. We have 1,000 for supplies. The next one is telephone. We have 1,000 also for telephone. For travel, it's 600. For meal, it says here that only 50% is allowed for meals, but we still need to input the 400. The system will just automatically compute the 50%.
Yeah, good job.
The next is utilities. It's 1,200. Next is, I think that's all. Oh. So we'll check with, we'll review the return po if everything is in Schedule C. I hope I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, we can check naman eh.
Okay.
We can compare the amount. So yeah, go down to your Schedule C. And
So Schedule C. Ah,
magkano yung
I
income?
think may na-miss ako. Sorry.
200. Must be the meals. Magkano ba yung difference ng meals? 200?
Yeah. 200 po.
I think you meant
So,
kasi kung 200 lang yun, then 59,500 dapat. So dapat we're looking at 59,300. Pero you have, wait lang yung, your net income dito is 59,500. If meals
I
was
think it should be
100, then it should be 59,300. But you have 6,200. I know, sorry, yeah, 59,500. If 200 lang yung deduction, so that should be 59,700 doon sa software kasi nga may 200 na limitation yung meals.
So, may na-miss po ako. Advertising.
No problem, you can check on that. That's the beauty of it naman eh. There's always a way for you to review the accuracy of your work. Sige, so check mo line by line. And what I would
Okay.
normally do when I'm entering this kind of document, I crashed out yung na-enter ko na. So like advertising, I crashed it out. Then office expense, I crashed it out.
Yes.
Para sure ako na na-input ko na. That's how I would personally do it.
Oo nga po, coach.
Sige, just take your time, look for it, where could the difference be.
So, the difference is, wait.
Yung iba ba, when you tried, you had 59,700.
Actually, I tried it earlier,
Yes
coach.
po,
Yes,
sir.
it's 59,700.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry.
Puro may kabalang halo this time. But that's okay. It
Yes,
happened.
may pagkaduling lang this time.
Naduling this time.
Kasi 2 screens na and medyo maliit yung ano ko.
Yeah,
Kasi
for
may,
sure.
yeah. So, let's check. 2,000, 1,500. So, where's advertising? 1,500. Supplies, 1,000.
1,500 po yung other
Legal and
expense.
other expense, 1,500. This one po? Okay. So, thank you po. Other expenses. This one. Oh, other expenses. 500. So, let's check. Schedule C. Mm. Ayun. So, okay na po.
Uh, so lahat ba nakapag-try nito? Nakapag-input ng Schedule C? Lahat ba?
Yes,
Or merong
coach.
hindi? Or merong nanood lang? Or merong, kasi ngayon lang ano. How was the experience? By the way, thank you, Miss Iris. Appreciate you coming forward,
Thank you din po, coach.
volunteering. Di ba madali lang naman? Di siya ganun kahirap. um, so, saan nanggagaling yung mga complexity sa Schedule C? Marami, paiba-iba. I don't have a complete list of the complexities brought about by Schedule C. But I'm gonna cite some based on my experience. So, yun. Pinakauna doon is when there are no financial statement, right? There's no P&L. Ang sisend ni client, naka-Excel. Lahat ng transactions ay taken straight from the bank. So, bank statement yung ibibigay niya sa'yo. So, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with uh, clients giving bank statement instead of a P&L statement? What we usually do is we send it back to the client. We tell the client, hey, ask your bookkeeper to give us the profit and loss statement. Kung wala kang bookkeeper and you want us to do it, we will charge you this much to prepare the P&L. Kasi yung engagement naman is tax preparation. Okay, kung ikaw yung magbi-build ng P&L based on the bank statement, that's another engagement. That's bookkeeping, right? So usually the firm will charge the client a bookkeeping fee unless yung client ay maganda na yung relationship niya with the tax firm. The tax firm does it. But based on practice, the common ones I see is that we push back. No, we ask the client provide us a copy of P&L. And kung may QuickBooks naman, very good. Straight lang. And later on, we'll explore yung functionality ng QuickBooks at saka ProConnect kasi nga magkapareho lang sila ng owner which is Intuit. There is an option to actually export the financials straight from QuickBooks into ProConnect. Meron yan na option, but we'll not do that today. So may mapping na nangyayari. Di ba? Kasi yan, if you look at it, advertising, office expenses, supplies, these are summarized categories, right? But if you look at QuickBooks, medyo mas detail yung accounting ni QuickBooks, di ba? In terms of the account category, in terms of the chart of accounts. So, yung may mapping na mangyayari na how it was account or how it was named in the QuickBooks chart of account, imamap mo yan dito sa line items ni Schedule C. So which one goes to advertising? Kasi baka yung account title mo sa QuickBooks is marketing, right? So hindi naman marketing ng nasa ProConnect, it's advertising. So if you're gonna go extract the QuickBooks Financial into ProConnect, you'll have to map the account first. Okay? So that's how it works. Para wala ng manual entry na nangyayari. And the beauty of that is once in-update mo yung QuickBooks, automatic din nag-update ang ProConnect or may prompt to update ProConnect. So a lot of firms are using this feature. So kung ProConnect sila, the reason for that is because they're also having their tax clients are also their bookkeeping clients. So, yan, ma-encounter nyo yan once you start working na kapag ProConnect yung gamit ni tax firm owner, most likely because naka-QuickBooks din yung mga clients niya. And ginagamit niya yung feature na yon. It's easy. It's easy to work on that. Other challenges. So, yeah, yung car and truck expense, that's one. Remind me to cover that. It has something to do with the mileage. And then dito sa baba, if you see line number 30, expenses for business use of home office, that's also another peculiarity of Schedule C. So, yung mga taxpayers or in the US, if they have a house, usually multiple rooms yung mga houses nila eh. And maliliit lang naman yung family nila. So they have a dedicated office for their business. And then if Schedule C madalas maliliit lang doon na business. So wala silang office or they don't rent a separate office. They use a specific space in their house. So inaalaw ni IRS to make a deduction on that, no? Instead of mag-rent expense, they can use a portion of their house. We obtain the square footage nung office and then the total office, and then there's a $5 standard deduction per square footage. Okay? Or pwede ding, later we will cover that, yung direct and indirect expenses. Kasi yung standard, may limitation yun na 1,500. So kung sobrang laki ng home office, the maximum that it can deduct using the standard deduction of $5 per square footage is 1,500. Pero kung direct naman na expense, walang limit yun. Like say for example, 'di ba, if you have a house, 'di ba, may electricity, 'di ba? May internet. So yung electricity na yun, hindi mo naman mako-compute yun kung magkano yung para sa office, 'di ba? Kung ano yung consumption, there's no direct calculation that you can do even sa internet. So you can use the indirect method. So for example, lahat ng utilities mo, other housing expenses mo is like umabot ng $5,000, right? So how can you apply the deduction for the home office? Doon na papasok yung square footage. So let's say for example, yung bahay is 1,000 square footage, right? And then 250 of that is used for home office. So that's 25%. So using the indirect, if 5,000 yung total household expenses na nakikishare si home office, 25% of 5,000 you can deduct as home office deduction. Okay? Yun yung indirect. Pag direct naman, let's say for example, may dalawa kayong utilities expenses kasi naka-specify talaga yung sa office. Yung internet connection is just for the office. Yung electricity, may sub-meter ka for the water din and stuff like that. Yun yung direct. Right? So, kasi associated directly dun sa business mo. So, direct expense naman yun. Also, walang limit yun. Okay? So, that's the peculiarity. We'll also cover that as we go along. But tomorrow kasi, I'll show you yung business deduction using the EA material. So, mas extensive yung explanation niya. But I'm just giving you an intro. I think I saw earlier from Annalisa, yes, depreciation then. It's something that you don't enter directly into the software. Dapat may asset kang ini-enter, right? So may asset kang ini-enter and then you specify what the asset is, ano yung life ng asset, ano yung type of depreciation, or ano yung method of depreciation, and then si system na yung magkakalculate ng depreciation amount. So if you see line item number 13, dun sa expenses line, if you still see the screen of Iris Lynn, yan, depreciation section, hindi ka pwedeng mag-input dyan kasi magpo-prompt ng error si system because what you need to do there is to input an asset and that field is a calculated field, not an input field. Okay? So that's one of the peculiarity dun sa Schedule C. So dito na papasok a little bit of accounting. Just a little bit. You know, depreciation is not too complex. Kunyari, bumili si client ng computer, right? And computer cost her siguro mga $3,000, right? So, yung 3,000 ika-capitalize and then I think life nung equipment is 5 years. So, yan yung standard na life ng mga asset. Unless specific asset, but generally 5 years. So, yung 3,000 straight line depreciation yung gamit divided by 5. Right? And that would come up as a depreciation expense on the line number 13. You don't need to calculate it, again, because the software will do it. All you have to do is you know where to input the asset. Okay? Yan lang yan. So if you're starting to, oh my God, wala akong, no, don't worry about it. When you know where to enter the asset, you're good. What else? Sa mga may experience ito, anyone who can share peculiarities ng Schedule C? Ayun, yung self-employment calculation yan, we will tackle that as well. Kasi this is also one reason why I want yung mga dito papasok yung value added services niyo as bookkeepers with your client. Kasi pag nakikita nyo na malaki yung income ni taxpayer, let's say umabot na ng 100,000 tapos naka-schedule C pa din siya, he's actually missing on a lot of tax benefit. Kasi dapat sa kanya naka-schedule, naka 1120S na siya. Dapat nag-opt na siya as an S-Corp. Kasi malaki na yung 15.3% na self-employment. So, meron nga ako nakakita 200,000 tapos schedule C. Siguro wala lang nag-introduce nun kay client. Hey client, ang laki na ng income mo. Mag-file ka na ng S-Corp election. Tapos kayo, since you're doing the books, like 2024 or 2025, you're doing it. Patapos na yung year, sobrang laki na ng income kasi nag-grow na yung business. Pwede nyo nang timbrehan si business owner na, hey owner, next year ba, are we expecting the same level of income? Kasi para pwede tayong mag-file early ng election para sa 2026, S-Corp ka na, hindi ka na Schedule C. Right? Hindi nyo naman alam yung 1120S Schedule C kung hindi kayo nag-aral ng tax, di ba? So, hindi niyo yun ma-advise sa client nyo. Right? So, ayun lang. That's an area where, again, you can add value sa bookkeeping clients nyo. Ano po ceiling coach to elect an S-Corp? Walang ceiling yung S-Corp. Merong tapos baka inibig mong sabihin income threshold. Like, magkano dapat yung income para mag-elect ng S-Corp? Wala ding straightforward answer to that. Kasi depende pa din yan sa entire income situation ni client. You cannot say na, 100,000 na, mag-S-Corp ka na. Kasi it would still play yung W-2 niya, yung mga 1099s niya. But generally speaking, pag mga nasa 100,000 na benchmark, malaki na rin yung difference kung nag-file siya ng S-Corp versus 1120C. And the higher the income, the higher the business income, the higher din yung difference between the taxes if Schedule C siya versus 1120S. So, meron na like even 50K, it matters na dapat 1120S na siya. Kung wala siyang other income, kung purely business lang, nagmamatter yun. Kasi yung 1120S, walang self-employment tax yun na 15.3%. Yun yung iniiwasan nung nag-i-elect ng S-Corp. At saka, yung S-Corp, kaya hindi mo rin pwedeng masabi na S-Corp ka kaagad kasi wala mang 15.3% na self-employment tax sa S-Corp. Pero pag nag-S-Corp ka kasi, you are required to pay yourself as an owner. It is a requirement. And then when you pay yourself, you issue yourself a W-2. Right? And pag nag-issue ka ng W-2, remember earlier, na may Social Security and Medicare, 'di ba? So, yung Social Security and Medicare, kasi ikaw both ang employer at employee ng business, sa'yo din yun manggagaling, 'di ba? So 6.2% for the Social Security times 2, so nasa 12.4, 'di ba? Plus the Medicare na 1.40 ba 'yun? So ang total pa din nun is 15.3%. 'Di ba? Yun eh, yung Social Security and Medicare, 15.3% yung total nun. But ang advantage kapag pag S corp is that the 15.3% is only based on the compensation that you pay as an owner to yourself, hindi sa buong net income. 'Di ba? Kasi kung schedule C, buong net income yung i-charge ng 15.3% as opposed to kung S corp, yun lang yung binayad mo sa sarili mo as a W2 income. So again, this is getting into the weeds. Medyo palalim na tayo ng palalim kasi we already related it to the 1120S. But I just touched on this kasi again, this is where a bookkeeper can really truly add value to a client. Kasi yung client nyo are looking to save on taxes legally, di ba? Yun yung tax avoidance. So making sure that all the benefits are availed of, right? So, kaya malaki nga yung role ng isang bookkeeper sa tax ni client. Lalo na kung you do it properly. Kasi may mga instances na because we didn't do the books properly, nag-o-overstate tayo ng income. 'Di ba? Nag-o-overstate tayo ng income as opposed to isang example dito again kung may invoicing, 'di ba? So nag-invoice the way the client records income is through invoice, 'di ba? So ang invoice syempre may payment 'yan, 'di ba? So the client or the taxpayer issues an invoice sa kanyang customer, right? And then once the customer pays, we receive the payment. We apply that against the invoice. Diba? So, I'm talking very technical now. The audience kasi is bookkeepers. But for those hindi ito maintindihan, okay lang yan. Makinig lang kayo or if ayaw nyo makinig, it's okay kasi it's too much for you. But this is just for context, okay? So, kanyari invoice, binayaran ng customer. Madalas kasi, ikaw na bookkeeper, may access ka sa books, pero si client meron din. Right? Meron din si client. So, pagka-receive ng payment ni client, hindi naman siya bookkeeper kasi. So, instead of receiving the payment, ni-receive niya or diniposit niya. Right? I-recorded as a deposit. So, ngayon, ikaw na nagre-reconcile, yung deposit, nilagay mo, kinategorize mo income. 'Di ba? So, bigyan natin ng amount. For example, si client mo is, say, Adam Smith, for example. So, si Adam Smith, my customer siya, ang name naman is Adam Brown. Right? So, si Adam Brown, bumili ng goods kay John Smith worth 5,000. Right? So, si John Smith ngayon, mag-create ng invoice using QuickBooks, and that invoice for $5,000 will be sent to John Brown, right? Using QuickBooks. So when that invoice was sent to John Brown, QuickBooks now recognize an accounts receivable, 5,000, and a credit to sales of 5,000. Correct? Nakakapag-follow yung mga bookkeepers. So recognize na yung sales at that point. Correct? Now ngayon, 2 weeks after, si Brown nagbayad ng buong 5,000 kay Smith. Right? So si Smith, instead of going into QuickBooks and lodging that 5,000 as payment, kasi may feature si QuickBooks na receive payment, di ba? Receive payment, tapos may drop down doon kung kaninong invoice yung 5,000, di ba? So para when he receives the payment, QuickBooks will also then recognize or record an entry into the back end debiting undeposited funds, or kung diretsong deposit to the bank, that's fine. Right? That's the debit. And the credit would be AR. Wala nang sales. Kasi the sales of 5,000 was already recognized upon invoicing. Correct? Now, ang nangyari, dineposit yung 5,000 diretso sa QuickBooks. Right? And then ikaw na nagre-reconcile, kasi hindi mo na-follow yung train ng transaction, deposit. So since may ruling or may notes ako na lahat ng deposit is sales, so I will categorize this as sales para mag-reconcile ako ng books. Right? So the deposit was now categorized as sales. Ang nangyari doon, dalawa na yung sales na 5,000. The sales upon invoicing and the sales upon the reconciliation, kasi you categorize it as sales. So naging 10,000 yung sales. Right? That's double counting the sales. And that's double charging, or that's increasing the tax of your client. 'Di ba? Hindi mo yan madi-detect kung hindi ka nag-AR reconciliation. Right? Which we don't do sa QuickBooks. Walang AR reconciliation sa QuickBooks. You have to do it manually. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's as far as I know. At hindi mo yan madidetect kasi balance ang transactions are involving both a P&L and the balance sheet. Right? Yung P&L mo is overstated by 5,000, right? By way of your sales. But your balance sheet is also overstated by 5,000 by way of accounts receivable. 'Di ba? So nag-offset silang dalawa. So hindi mo yan matitrace unless you have a good accounting skills. Right? It doesn't make sense. Bakit at the year end mayroon akong AR? Right? And then I need to confirm with the client, hey client, bakit may AR si si John Smith? And based sa nakikita ko dito, yung AR na to is, say, nangyari February last year. Hindi ba niya to binayaran? Right? So dun na yun papasok again yung value mo as a bookkeeper. Bakit at the end of the year, mayroon pa ring AR, lalo na kung nag-generate ka ng aging ng AR, right? Then you will come to us, bakit may AR na since February pa? And then you could also see based on the transaction na medyo may nagmamatch na deposit na 5,000. Hindi kaya ito yung payment? 'Di ba? Again, that's where your accounting na bookkeeping skills will come into play. Right? That's just one example. And I've seen that a lot. I've seen that a lot. Miscategorization. And again, hindi yan na-detect kasi nagre-reconcile naman yung bank account. Diba? And madalas, kapag nag-reconcile na yung account, okay na tayo. Akala natin okay na yun. No, hindi. Magbasa tayo ng profit and loss statement and the balance sheet. Right? Look at the balance sheet and the profit and loss. That's where you can truly add value to your client. Kasi kung hindi mo yan na ginawa, at ganun nga yung nangyari na nag-overstate yung income, nag-overstate din yung tax na binayaran ng client mo. Right? But your client would not know that. Because again, the client is not a bookkeeper. Pero may solution naman yan. Kunyari, may nagkamali. At na-discover. Merong resolution yan. Pwede mag-file ng amended tax return. Okay? Pwede mag-file ng amended tax return. Okay. Yeah, Alma, see, overstated na ang sales. So again, this is a language of bookkeeping and accounting, but I didn't want to discriminate those merong walang accounting background kasi pwede nyo namang pwede naman kasing kayong hindi bookkeeper. Tax preparer lang kayo. So kung ano yung binigay ni bookkeeper ng taxpayer na books or na profit and loss, na yung i-input nyo. Right? Doesn't really require, a full-scale accounting. in-inject ko lang yon because it really happens a lot in practice. Yung sa books na may mga issues dun sa invoicing or sa invoice and receipt of payments. Okay. Just like that, 9:38 na. My question pa, monthly po ba yung 100K income? Wait lang. Ano po ang ceiling, coach, to elect income ceiling? So, nasagot ko ba to, Annalisa, yung tanong mo about the ceiling? Walang ceiling kasi if you think of, kasi intindi ko sa ceiling, like, the amount na limit ng amount para mag-elect ng S corp, walang limit. The client can be an S corp for as long as it wants to be an S corp and for whatever amount it earns. Um, I think you mean to say income threshold para mag-elect from ang tawag kasi kapag Schedule C filer, again, this is getting into the weeds, single member LLC. Pag single member LLC, yun yung Schedule C. Ganito din ha, madalas yung mga taxpayers, when they have an LLC, which is a business registration, they would already think that they have a business filing requirement. Right? Hindi nila alam yung Schedule C and 1120S kasi hindi naman sila tax professional. So, it really helps that you ask. Taxpayer, when you say you have an LLC, did you mean to say you have a business that's registered and is it solely owned by yourself? Ikaw lang ba yung may-ari? Pag sinabi ni taxpayer, yes, ako lang. So kung ikaw lang yung owner, malamang sa malamang single member LLC ka. Kasi in the eyes of the IRS, kung may LLC, one owner, walang S-corp election, that's a disregarded entity. When you say disregarded entity, that will be required to file a tax return along with the personal tax return ni taxpayer. Disregarded entity because the business does not have its own entity. It's tied up to the business owner. Kasi di ba Schedule C is attached to the 1040. The 1040 is the individual or the personal tax return. You get what I'm saying? So kaya disregarded entity. Again, kung single lang na owner, walang S-corp election. Right? So paano maging S-corp? Kung isa lang yung owner, that's where the election comes in. Kailangan mag-file ng election via Form 2553. Right? So kung wala namang ginawang file 2553, disregarded entity yon. So that's usually when I have a call with a client na nagpapatulong mag-prepare ng tax. Those are the common questions I have. Okay, you have an LLC. Are you the only owner? Pag sinabing yes, do you remember having filed a 2553 before the IRS? So ano yung 2553? Pag hindi niya alam yung 2553, malamang sa malamang hindi niya final, di ba? So disregarded entity yon. Yeah, so again, kung disregarded entity, Schedule C. Monthly po yung 100K income para mag-S-corp or yearly. Kasi $100,000 is already a lot of money in the US. 100,000 sa atin siguro hindi, no? Kasi siguro sa iba dito sa inyo may income na 100K a month in pesos. Pero in dollars, malaki na yung 100K na income. So, if you're talking monthly or yearly, ang answer to that, Tanya, is yearly po. Gross annual. Yeah, Annalise answered that for you. Good job. Maria VC, sabi yes po. I don't know what the yes po is, but overseas themselves, yes. A loan of client categorizes income. Yan din po. Another example, loan. Kasi may na-receive na deposit sa bank, Kasi nga, nasanay na kapag deposit sales, kahit loan proceeds pala yun. Diba? So again, that's where a good bookkeeping skills come into play. Pag nag-file ng tax return na may Schedule C, hindi po pwede mag-file joint sila as business. Kahit sila dalawa may-ari ng company. Ang nangyayari dito kapag joint Schedule C, you will have to file separate, 50-50. Split sa spouses. So walang nangyayaring joint na at least not in my practice. So kapag joint nga na business tapos puro sila Schedule C filer, what we do is we bifurcate the return and split them 50-50. Kasi pag joint owner na registered sa IRS, dapat yung registration niyan is partnership. 1065 dapat yung ifa-file niyan. Kasi kahit pa mag-asawa kayo, if you are both of you are registered owner ng business, you should have filed Form 8332 ata for partnership. Okay? Dapat business return na kayo. So, the answer to your question, Minerves, is that pag joint owner sila, which is very rare na nangyayari. Kasi pag Schedule C, isang owner lang talaga yan. Pero in this case, kung niregister nila as LLC, tapos dalawa sila, they'll have to split that. Okay?
Thank you, Coach.
No problem.
Hey,
Okay.
Coach, can I add something lang po?
Yes po.
Actually, yung client ko po, parang nagkaroon siya ng late S-Corp election. Di po ba allowed yun dyan? Yung
Yes.
parang sometime in October 2024 lang siya nag-file ng Form 2553 to be an S-Corp. So, nag-consult siya with Tax Strategist of America. Then yun po yung winork out nila. Sometime April this year, parang sa ako lang po na-receive yung form na approve na siya effective January 1, 2024, yung S-Corp election niya.
Okay.
So, parang ang nangyari, ang unfortunate lang po, for last year, hindi siya nakapag create ng reasonable compensation. Yung katulad na sinasabi nyo kanina na parang as S-Corp owner, you should have that reasonable compensation na malalagay mo sa books. So parang, gaano po ba ka-crucial na dapat for 2024, merong naka-book na reasonable compensation si client?
Good question. Kasi kung hindi siya he didn't pay himself as an owner, mahirap na yung mag-retro kasi syempre di ba magda-W2 pa siya tapos re-retro pa siya ng withholding ng social at saka laki ng penalty for not remitting itong mga social na withholding. So okay lang yan, 1 year, first 2 years, kung hindi naman profitable pa yung business, reasonable na hindi mo na mag-file tapos pwede naman i-justify sa IRS. First year, late election nga hindi niya alam na required pala tawag dito, may required palang reasonable compensation. So okay lang yan first year. If there is a penalty that the IRS will assess him, pwede yang i-request for abatement, first time penalty abatement. But on the succeeding year, hindi mo na pwedeng gamitin excuse yon kasi nag-elect ka na diba? So, to answer your question, okay lang yan. First year, sabi mo naman, effective siya 1st of January 2024. So, for 2024 filing, okay lang na walang reasonable compensation muna. Especially kung hindi pa ganun ka-profitable. Pero kung napaka-profitable ng business,
Medyo profitable na po siya.
super
Actually, he
profitable.
considers himself na small business owner, pero around nasa 300,000 yung gross
Ang
po
laki na.
niya eh. So, yung net po niya is nasa 200.
Oh,
Actually, yung
wow.
2024 P&L niya is 220. Yung ano kasi medyo less yung expenses niya.
Ay,
Kaya
malaki
medyo
na yan.
malaki po yung
Malaki na
P&L.
yan. So, has it always been the case na hindi siya nagbabayad sa sarili niya? That's impossible naman.
Actually, since yun nga po yung naging case, so we work out for this year, since nag-start ako ng December, so January, buti nga po medyo naihabol ko, January beginning, first week, na i-enroll sa QuickBooks Payroll, yung ano niya. So meron na siya ngayon na 1,400 per week
Per
for
week.
52 yun na parang salary. So,
Mhm.
he pay himself as compensation. So, yon katulad na sinabi niyo kanina, meron siyang mga withholding tax, SSS, Medicare. So, actually, ang naninet niya lang doon per week is nasa 900 plus.
Mhm.
Kasi 510, nasa talagang taxes yon. So, yun po. Tapos, meron din siyang accountable plan. Nag-hire din siya na gagawa ng accountable plan para ma-support yung mga home office expenses, other deductions na kailangan for business. Medyo ano din naman po yung boss ko. Yung parang gusto rin niya malaman kung ano ba yung benefit ng pagiging S-Corp, ano yung dapat na meron siya, ano yung... So buti nga po during that time, kasi since nag-aaral ako, tapos parang naging interested talaga ako sa US taxation kasi na-challenge ako sa books niya. I did po actually catch up kasi hinire niya ako December, last 2 weeks ng December. Then kailangan habulin ko yung buong 2024 transaction kasi walang previous bookkeeper. First time na purchase ng QuickBooks. So lahat, win-work out namin lahat. So from scratch talaga po hanggang sa, syempre lahat ng category ng transaction, puro Excel ang fino-forward niya. Sabi niya, all the receipts were in my shoe. Literal, pinakita niya pa po sa akin yung shoeboxes.
Very common. It's very common.
Opo, yun. So, yun. So, naging ano naman. So, until now, actually, late filing pa siya for 2024. Nag-elect siya na late
Nag,
filing kasi nga may mga inaantay pa siyang, syempre, mga documents. Tapos, so, I think by August, September yung business dapat ma-file yung 1120S, yung
yes.
sinasabi niyo na ano. So,
Mm.
yun po.
Okay lang yan. First year, 2024, too late to do a W-2. Tandaan nyo na lang for 2025, which I think you said earlier, you're already doing. So, reasonable naman kasi again, first year niya na S-Corp. So, forgivable yun ni IRS. Hindi naman, yung mga IRS agents, hindi naman sila stubborn. When you get a notice, and then that's what an EA do. Yung tatawag ka sa IRS on behalf sa client mo. Kasi yung client mo, pag tumawag yung diretso sa IRS, pwede naman silang tumawag. Hindi yan sila magkakaintindihan. Kasi si IRS, ang linggo niya, tax, di ba? Si client naman, iba naman yung linggo niya. So, ikaw yung intermediary para magkaintindihan silang dalawa, right? So, as an EA, you will get the client a 2848 or a power of attorney para you can negotiate on behalf of the IRS. Sabi ni IRS, bakit hindi to nag reasonable compensation ng first year? Sabihin mo, oh, tingnan mo, di ba, nung 2024 lang din siya elect ng S-Corp. Hindi niya alam na pwede may W2 pala. So, can you waive the penalty? Wala namang ano. Hindi naman nagre-request si IRS na, oh, kailangan may 10% ako dito para ano, charet. Walang ganon yung agent kasi pakialam niya, di ba? So, sabihin niya lang, okay, compliant naman to for them. May mga check lang siyang qualification. Pag nag-qualify yan, automatic abated yung penalty. So, ganun si IRS. Walang kuskus balongos na mangyayari. Kapag qualified for abatement, qualified talaga. Kaya, one of the good thing about practicing US tax. So, yun. Thank you for sharing that, Irison. Very
Thank you po,
insightful.
Coach. Thank you po. Thank you so
Very
much.
insightful. Yeah. Um, Pag nag-file ng tax return na may Schedule C, hindi po pwede mag-file. Okay na. Pag partnership po, tapos the business earned 150K gross income last 2024, ano po ipa-file nila? So, pag partnership, siguraduhin mo lang tayo yan na partnership talaga ha. Hindi yung pseudo partnership na just between them. So, pag partnership, that's also really registered as partnership with the IRS based on sa EIN nila, 1065 yung ipa-file. Again, Form 1065 pag partnership. At paano mo malalaman na or paano malalaman ng taxpayer na dapat partnership yung ifa-file nila? Pag nag-apply ng EIN before the IRS, after nung LLC registration, may EIN letter na sinesend si IRS sa taxpayer. Doon sa EIN letter, in the detail doon na, this is your EIN letter, blah, blah, blah. At kapag business return yung kailangang i-file, nung EIN associated to that business, nakalagay dun specifically kung ano yung business return form. So, kung 1120S, nakalagay specific doon na 1120S yung kailangang i-file ni taxpayer. Kung partnership, nakalagay din doon 1065. So, kung hindi kayo sure, tanungin niyo si taxpayer. Meron ba kayong na-receive na EIN letter kay IRS? Pakisend sa akin so that you can see kung 1065 ba talaga. Kung hindi rin sure kung may na-receive ba na letter from the IRS, pwedeng tumawag sa IRS, just give out the EIN number para malaman kung ano yung tax form that was registered to be filed for that specific EIN. Okay? Was I
Thank you
able to
po.
answer your question, Tanya?
Yes po, thank you.
My pleasure. Diba? The discussion is getting interesting. Don't you feel it? Diba? So, kayong mga bookkeepers, nakikita nyo na, ito pala yung magiging value natin, diba? Hindi na lang tayo basta-bastang bookkeeper. And it's not like, you know, kasi in my opinion ko lang naman again, ha? Um, I would say it's it's an upgrade kung from bookkeeper naging tax preparer kayo. Why do I say that? Because generally, tax preparers are paid higher than bookkeepers. Ganun yung arrangement ng firm. Kung preparer ka, you are generally paid higher than a bookkeeper. So, kaya sinasabi kong upgrade yun. Right? And then again, career kasi yung tax preparer, it's really a career. Kung bookkeeper lang kasi, sorry for the word lang ha, but if you're a bookkeeper, and you can be very, very good bookkeeper, you can choose to be as a bookkeeper for a very long time, even if forever. But if you want a career out of it, a tax preparation role would be very, very good for you. Dumami tuloy trabaho namin. Yeah, but if dumami yung trabaho at umokay naman yung income, then why not, 'di ba? So, yun nga pag nakapasok na kayo sa tax preparation, guys, and you are very confident already, doon na papasok yung multiple clients. I'm telling you. Diba? Like, one firm, tapos you get another firm. Tapos, the more that you build yourself, the more that you make yourself available sa mga LinkedIn. Ako nga, hindi ako active sa LinkedIn at all. Pero meron akong, I think, dalawa. Every now and then, may nagre-reach out na mga headhunter. And I think there's one na nag-reach out directly na prospect employer. Hindi pa ako active niyan sa LinkedIn ha. Like, I didn't update my profile and all because I really don't care. um, sa Upwork naman, I don't apply at all anymore. Lahat ng mga naging clients ko in the past 3 years was them approaching me. So, ganun yung nangyari sa akin. And I have no doubt it will happen to you. Lalo na kapag OLJ. 'Di ba? OLJ, ang dami naghahanap ng tax preparers doon. Kasi medyo lower yung rate ng OLJ. But it's a good start. So, yeah, everywhere, maraming naghahanap ng tax preparer kasi nga sa demand. And once you're in it, the experience is only gonna make you even more confident. And you will see na, pwede ko talaga itong gawing career. Right? So there. BK plus tax prep, 90% job security. Hindi lang 90%. I can say 100% job security. Kasi nga, you don't even need to be employed. You don't need to be employed. You can be an employer yourself. Or you can, kasi pwede kang mag-direct sa client. 'Di ba? You have the ability to be directly working with a taxpayer. Right? So yun. Oh my God, 2 minutes before 10. O, di ba ang... okay naman yung naging flow ng discussion. Hindi naman naging overwhelming sa iba. I know we talked a little bit about bookkeeping, but only because nag-schedule C na tayo. But I really didn't mean to overwhelm you with too much information. But if it feels that, yeah, too much information, but you kept hanging around kasi 50 pa tayo until now. Wala pa namang nag-massive exit nung nag-talk na ako about journal entry. So, you're still good. You're still good. Kung hindi man yun nag-sink in, that's fine because eventually the more that you do it, as you go along with the practice, eventually things will make sense. Kasi lahat din naman ng mga natutunan ko over the years. Right? Over the years, hindi ko yung natutunan nung from first time kung nag-tax prep. No, not at all. Right? So, there are things that I didn't know and I only knew as I go along the practice. Right? So, okay lang yan. if if you want a reassuring word. Right, recording will stop in 2 minutes. You can re-invite to continue. Bakit? Bakit? Okay, maybe sa Firefly. But this is Anli. So, we're on a premium, guys. I'm paying Zoom for this. So don't worry about it. Right, so wala nang question. I know it's 10 p.m. your time. And again, it's 10 a.m. my time. I just started my day. I don't know if matutulog ako ulit or, or whatnot, but I will have the entire Sunday to myself. And I don't know if you've heard of Montreal, but you have a really beautiful church, the Notre Dame. I'm thinking of going to church today, and specifically in Notre Dame. So mga Catholics dito, Montreal is a really big Catholic city. And they have really, really beautiful cathedrals. So if you're into that, you will love Montreal. Right. So yeah, thank you for today. I really enjoyed today's session. So tomorrow, wala tayong assignment, diba? So okay na tayo dun sa Schedule C. Hopefully, you had the same result as Iris Lynn. If not, just go over the entries. Baka meron kayo na input na hindi or na duplicate or may na miss out kayong input. And then tomorrow, we will have 5 people, ha? Huwag tayong mag-waste ng time, guys. Like, be proactive to share. If you're a newbie or anything, again, walang judgment. I mean it. Walang judgment. I just really want to get to know you. And also, if you have a really good story to share, we want to be inspired. If you're just starting, we want to know. That should be okay. So 5 people to start tomorrow. The earlier we know who they are, the better para makapag-save tayo ng time. The time that we save is a time that we can focus on discussion. So tomorrow we will cover business deduction from Gleim. Okay. Thank you for today. Quick photo tayo. If you guys don't mind sharing your videos. And magagalit si Kelly kapag hindi kayo nakapag-background ng official nating photo background. So sa mga hindi pa nakapag mag-reach out ka kay Kelly. Charet. But maganda kasi lang tingnan na pare-pare tayo ng background. By the way, itong background na to I think was created by Noreen from TBSA. She's also joining us here. Thank you, Noreen. This is really a beautiful background if I haven't said thank you before. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for today and enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.
Meet our free U.S. tax preparation course brought to you by the Borderless Accountant. We are inviting you to join our community. Live training, reputable tax firms as resource speakers, recorded, replayable at higit sa lahat, libre. To join, like and follow our official Facebook page, join our Facebook group for important updates, and fill out our Google form to be included in our mailing list. See you there!